Okie dokie, people. Inflation. So here's something that the majority of people probably don't really realize. Sleepy Joe, well, he's not running anything, face it. He's too out of it to do anything but wipe his ass. But whoever his handlers are, you know, and Pelosi and Shifty Shift and all those morons, they're like, well, inflation is good. I don't know how it's good, but inflation is good. Yeah, for the company owners. So anyway, you look at the inflation being totally out of fucking control. Shortages all over the place. Now the shortages, okay, that's, hello. That's, where? That's the bar, you know, there's a pain in the ass cat. Anybody want him? But anyway, can't play. He wants to play. Yeah, you can't. Go pick on somebody else. I'm sorry. I'm really not sorry. I don't care. But anyway, so, you know, you have all those ships that are out on the West Coast, you know, waiting for an open slot to there we go. You know, to get into port. So that creates a shortage of unbelievable amount of stuff. You know, you go in the stores and there's usually tons of Christmas stuff, lights, inflatables, decorations and that, and there's a lot less now. Costco always has some really nice Christmas stuff that they sell, and this year, zip. It's because it's all out on the ships out off the West Coast, some on the East Coast. So anyway, so easy solution to fix that problem, very easy to fix it. You get something like Sleepy Joe, get on the phone, and say, here's what we're gonna fucking do to get rid of the shortages. I can solve that, but I can't do anything about inflation because I'm a complete moron. But I can fix the shortage issue. How, you ask? One phone call up the National fucking Guard. The National Guard has a whole lot of vehicles. There's a lot of personnel in the National Guard that can drive semis and load ships and unload ships, operate cranes. So anyway, all they have to do is call up the National Guard. There's a truck shortage, truck driver shortage rather. Call up the National Guard nationwide and say, we need all of the National Guard personnel that can drive semis to report for duty, because we're going to have you guys clear out the yards, because that's part of the problem on these shipping yards is the yards are full. They have nowhere to put the crates, okay? The containers. There's nowhere to put the containers. You're going to jump up here, gotcha. There's no place to put the containers in the yards because the yards are full. California, you're not going to claw my... I don't want you over here clawing my chair, stupid cat. Now you jump over, aren't you? But anyway, that's a problem easily solved. Ow, this cat's killing me. Look at this. It's just being a pain in the ass. Yeah. Beat up on the camera. Yeah, you scaring yourself? Yeah, you're backing up. You don't know who that is. Could be a bad guy. But anyway, so the National Guard could solve the distribution problems in a heartbeat, because you're talking thousands and thousands of personnel that know how to... For that matter, he could even call up, I don't know if it's legal, but he could even get a hold of the military, which I'm sure there's a way to do it, to where they could have all the truck drivers in the military handle it. When I was down in Texas, there was a town, Albany, Texas, that was wiped out by a flood when I was down there. So we moved supplies, came in, C-130s, we loaded them on semis, and we drove them into the town. And so that can be done. Active duty personnel, I don't know if they would be allowed to do that, but he could declare a national emergency. A national emergency, problem solved. Okay, so that's one of the problems with the distribution problem, and it does affect inflation to a certain degree. People sitting on their ass instead of going back to fucking work. Well, why would I go to work if I can make more money not working? How stupid is that? The rest of the world is looking at the United States making all kinds of jokes and laughing their ass off because we have such stupid, ignorant imbeciles in the White House, in Congress, in the Senate. There's a bunch of Republicans that are useless too. As I say, useless as tits on a bull. That's the kind of people that are in Washington. You need to get rid of all of them. Vote them out. Okay, so anyway, that would solve the whole frickin' crisis of supply chain crisis. Lack of workers, that also was hurting businesses dramatically because when Burger King is offering $15 an hour to start, you don't think that's a little fucking nuts? And they still can't get people, and everybody, oh, well, as soon as the government quits handing out all the extra unemployment, things will get better. That stopped. Nobody's taking these jobs. Most of the people probably saved up money from not paying rent because they didn't have to. That's pretty dumb. You're working, you can afford to pay your rent, pay the rent. What do you think the landlords? You think the bank is going to tell these landlords, oh, don't worry about your payment on that property that you rent out. Don't worry about it. No, landlords still have to pay the banks. They still have to pay the taxes on those properties. So people that aren't paying their rent deliberately think, oh, okay, it's not really hurting anybody. Yeah, it is. So you have that situation, which was stupid. And petroleum. Okay. The biggest cause of inflation is petroleum. And you may think, okay, well, yeah, it costs more to fill up my car, it costs more to fill up a semi, so their costs have to get passed on down to the consumer. That is true. That's your immediate effect that the government can't hide, is the fact of fuel prices being astronomical. So, what people don't realize is there are 6,000 products made with petroleum. Not just in the manufacturing process. Meaning like mold, like steel, okay? The presses, when they use steel and they use power brake, our presses, the dies, to do the items, everything's coated with oil to cut down on the friction, okay? So now that manufacturing process of making all those body panels just went up. Making the panels for the sealants in cars, the dashboards, all of that stuff has petroleum in it. Nail polish. Without petroleum products, you couldn't make nail polish. You couldn't make fake teeth. I don't have fake teeth, but you couldn't make fake teeth. A lot of makeup, petroleum. Tires, anything made out of rubber, anything made out of plastic. So if you're sitting at home, just scan the room around you and you'll realize how many products rely on petroleum to manufacture those products. 6,000, think about that. You're talking fabrics, the shirt you're wearing, okay? If it uses any kind of nylon thread, oil, petroleum rather. Pretty much everything manufactured uses oil or petroleum products one way or another. A barrel of oil, about half of it is used to make, gasoline basically. The rest is used, you make diesel, gas, kerosene or whatever. But the other that's left over is used in a manufacturing process. So when the cost of oil goes up, the dickhead Biden takes and shuts down pipelines. He suspends all leases on federal land. And think about it. those pumps that are on federal land pumping oil out of the ground are already there. So you can't say, oh, environment, boo, fucking who. No, that is not affecting the environment because those leases were already placed and the drilling already done. So when you're pumping oil out of the ground, that's fine. Yes, when they cut roads in to get all that heavy equipment in there and set everything up, yeah, they fuck up a lot of land. There ain't no doubt about it. You know, and I'm against that, obviously. But to suspend all the leases that were active, that were pumping oil out of the ground, what was the point of that? He's begging Russia and OPEC to produce more oil, which is dumb because most of our oil we buy comes from Venezuela, right? We don't really get oil from the Middle East. Most of it comes from Venezuela and South America. So anyway, those are some of the reasons why, you know, the whole supply chain, the cost of goods have gone up dramatically. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. The whole petroleum thing is totally fucking everything. Everything goes up in cost. And their idea, well, if we cause oil prices to go up, gas will be so expensive, people are going to have to buy electric vehicles. Who in the hell can afford an electric fucking vehicle? Most of the people that are driving around in older cars, it's because they can't afford a new car. So that's asinine, and they're trying to force the issue, saying, well, if we keep all this shit high, oil prices high, then people are going to have to buy electric cars. Power companies are going to have to start producing power with wind and solar, which sucks. It's not reliable, people. Yeah, it's all good and dandy, but it's not reliable. To supply enough power from solar energy, you'd probably have to cover, you know, a third of the United States acreage in solar panels. All right? You don't think that's devastating to the environment? Because everything that used to grow on the ground around those solar panels is now in the shade because the solar panels are stopping the sunlight from reaching the plants. So solar does a lot of damage to the environment. And oh, it's clean, it's clean. Okay. Guess what you use to manufacture the solar cells? Oil, petroleum. How about that? Guess where most of the wind turbines and the solar panels? China. How about that? So American jobs. We're going to create American jobs by going renewable. You created jobs overseas because now you're buying more solar panels, more windmills than overseas. Figure that one out. How is that helping America? And then you get a blast like they had in Texas, where they had that winter blast in the spring. And guess what? People were out of power because Texas largest oil manufacturer, I don't know if they're the largest in the States, but anyway, they produce an ungodly amount of oil, so they started switching to renewable wind and solar. Bam. They got hit with that storm. Everybody was without power down there. It totally screwed them. California has rolling blackouts and brownouts on a regular basis. You cannot rely on wind and solar. You can't do it. Not capable. Solar panels aren't efficient enough. Wind is fine, but then you have all these unsightly windmills. If you don't live in an area with windmills, then you don't know. But here in Michigan, you go a little bit further north, the landscape is scattered with windmills. And the funny thing is, every time you go past there, there's always a handful of wind turbines, that aren't working, that have broken down. And it's like when one of the blades breaks, those big, huge fiberglass blades that are 60 feet long, 75 feet, whatever they are, they're huge. When those go bad and they have to be replaced, the cost obviously is a lot because you got to get cranes and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, what do you think happens with those old blades? You think they can recycle fiberglass? Wrong. So all of those blades that they replace as regular maintenance or they break for some reason, landfill. So that's good for the environment. Let's fill up the landfill with dead blades from wind turbines. So anyway, I just wanted to do that real quick. The whole petroleum thing is the biggest cause of inflation is the cost of oil, because it's used in all the manufacturing processes. Put it to you this way. Any plant in the world that makes basically anything, if anything in that plant, okay, has a moving part, it needs grease, it needs oil, all right? Because the machines have to be continuously lubricated or you're going to have problems, okay? So, there you go. Biggest cause of inflation, I don't care what the experts say that go to college for this crap, the biggest cause of inflation is a fact, oil. The cost of oil keeps going up. That causes inflation because manufacturing of goods goes up worldwide. And I hope... Oh no, run, China virus. I've got like 5 cats right here. They're all watching me. So anyway, I just want to say thanks for watching. And if you want to subscribe, hit the little B in the bottom right hand corner. Hit the little bell in the bottom, notification bell, so you can get annoyed when I put up a new video. And I just appreciate anybody watching. And yeah, I'm up to 55 subscribers, which is fine. I'm not in it for the money, obviously. So I'm not making any. But I do have 23,500 and some odd views. So that's a lot in a year. So anyway, I just appreciate you. And chances are I'll probably make more before. Well, yeah, I will, because I'm going to do ones on this year's Christmas decorations. I've already started taping it, but I'm going to get this one posted, so get it uploaded. So anyway, thank you for watching, everybody, and I appreciate it. I know my videos aren't for everybody. Some like some don't like others. Diversity, you know. So there you go. Anyway, thank you. Oh, one final word. Let's go, Brandon. And anybody who knows what that means, you'd think everybody would know by now. But anyway, that was from, it actually means fuck Joe Biden, fuck Biden, is actually what it means. But people can say, let's go Brandon, without swearing, so it looks better. And the let's go Brandon, there's flags, bumper stickers, it's spread out through the whole United States. That's how much hated, well, now I don't know if you want to say hated, because they hated President Trump and all his followers. We're all followers, right? Hallelujah, praise be Trump. So they're all like, nutso out there. The Dems, not the Republicans. We're not nuts. So anyway, don't know where I was going with that, but let's end this. Thanks for watching.